All right, here's what I recommend. So instead of using auto, we're going to do a manual setting, and then we're going to save it so that you can just use U1 as the go-to dial turn before you start this. So you need to set all the settings that are germane. So the first one is going to be aperture. So the first thing you're going to do is change the dial here to manual mode so that you have full control. Then we're going to change the aperture from whatever it is to f8. If you lose that screen, just press the thing halfway down again, and then use the back dial to change the aperture. Sorry, that changes the shutter speed. This changes the aperture, the front dial. Change that to 8, and then change the shutter speed, that number I was changing, to 320. Then check your ISO. Press the ISO button and hold it. If it's not at 100, scroll it until it is. That's good. Every other setting should be pretty good on this camera that I gave you. So at this point, to save those settings as a user setting, go to the back, go to menu, choose the camera menu, that's actually wrong. Choose the wrench menu, setup menu, scroll down to all the way down to save user settings. Right click on this button, right click again on U1 and choose OK for save settings. All right, so now all the settings we just did for manual mode are saved to the U1 setting. So to prove that, if I mess around with the shutter speed and aperture here, and even the ISO, got to get out of menu first. ISO, which shows here or here. If I change that to 250 in manual mode right now, but then I switch the dial here to U1, it goes back to all those settings that we saved, including ISO 100. Now, this won't pop up the flash automatically, so people have to pop it up before they shoot. I just realized something with a flash. It will not let you have a shutter speed that's faster than 250. It changes it down to 250 on its own. So we might as well do that to begin with. So if we go back to manual, unmess with the things that I had, set that back to 8, which is a fairly small aperture, give you a nice depth of field. This to 250, ISO back down to 100. This is all in manual mode, right? Those are the current manual mode settings. Then I go to menu, and remember it's the wrench menu. Find save user settings, right click on U1 and save settings. Okay, now, when I go to U1, all those settings should have been saved. When I want to take a picture, push down on that to get the flash up. Notice it doesn't change the shutter speed because 250 is the shutter speed that it can have for a flash, and you should be good to go. Give it a try. Now with F8, a low ISO, and a small aperture, in almost any shooting environment, no matter what the lighting conditions are, it's going to want to do a light. The flash will go off. So I can almost guarantee it. If not, we can change the aperture to be even smaller, a higher number. But I'm pretty sure that you're not gonna run into conditions where it can shoot without a flash doing that. So the other key is do not have people do this with the camera to turn it with this onboard flash because it will send a sideways shadow. This one will send a shadow slightly down, which is okay on faces and shoulders. And give it a try.